Brian, you've got a PlayStation VR.
Yeah,
And,
you've heard about it a few times.
I believe we've mentioned that once or twice.
Yeah.
You have a theory about this, is that right?
Yeah, and I don't want anyone to take this the wrong way because I mean this in the best, most positive way possible, but I truly feel like the PSVR is the new PlayStation Vita.
Oh, no.
No, he means in the sense that it's awesome.
Yes, in the sense that it's awesome, it's got great games, it's selling pretty well, it's got a great attach rate, and no one is noticing it. Like, it's kind of criminally slept on, as they say in the rap world.
I mean, do we know that? Have you seen sales numbers?
So sales numbers so far, Sony has said that they're on track. Which
means that if the sales numbers were really high, they would tell us what they were.
Yes, exactly. So I think when you hear something like that, it doesn't mean they're bad. Well, no one would ever tells you like when something's underperforming. But on track means like, oh, this is what we thought, and that's right. Well,
it's like, we think our sales numbers are pretty good, but I mean,
anecdotally though, like
Mom
going in
thinks I'm handsome.
Going in the Beyond Facebook group, which is facebook.com/group/Beyond. Podcast Beyond, talking to people who have PSVR, the attach rate to games is insane. Like the number of games someone who jumped into PSVR have is staggering after a month.
I've been sort of describing it as kind of like buying a ticket to Disney World. Like you don't go there and just go on one or two rides and leave. You try to get the most out of it, right? You go to things that you wouldn't even care about normally. Like I don't care about pirates, but I'm in Disney. I'm going to ride Pirates of the Caribbean, right? So I think it's very interesting that people are buying this thing and they're not just getting one or two games. They're buying like 5, 10, 15 games because a lot of them are sort of priced between $10 and $40. A lot of them are sort of like shorter, quicker experiences. You look at something like Until Dawn or Batman. I mean, these are games that you can finish in an hour or two, 2 or 3 if you go back and 100% them. So I think there's a lot of really cool experiences right now. And like I've been saying, like there aren't a ton of like sort of like standout AAA experiences, but there's a bunch of like kind of like B pluses.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I think about when someone says, why should I buy a Vita? What's the game I should buy a Vita for? And I'm like, well, there is no one game, but here are the 30 reasons to buy a Vita because all of these are like incredible in their own right.
Yeah. Like I think the closest it has to sort of a killer app in terms of like, you put this thing on, you play it, and you get it immediately. Stuff like Batman, stuff like Eagle Flight. I think Tethered's like a really good example. We talked about that on the show.
Yeah, Rez Infinite.
Yeah, Rez for sure. It's just one of those ones where you're like, oh, this is what happens when you take a game from like 15 years ago and you port it to this funny hat. So I think that like we're going to see the system grow and grow, and I think that hopefully it will have a better outcome than the Vita did, which kind of like, I mean, most consoles kind of like end with a deep exhale and then that's it. They're kind of just like, oh god, that's it. And with the Vita, I think the same kind of thing was a very long whimper over the course of a year and a half.
Just an old man slowly getting into a bathtub.
I mean, the Vita's arguably kind of sort of dead, but they keep making games for it.
Yes,
like weird Japanese stuff keeps coming out,
and indies will keep going there.
Yeah,
So I'm curious how soon it's going to be when Games of Gold. PS Plus games, are incorporating a VR thing. Oh, sorry, that's the Wednesday show. Are incorporating VR because I think we're at a point where like I don't care about free PS3 games anymore, especially since they're not backwards compatible. Yeah, like with Games of Gold, when there is a 360 game that's free, it's guaranteed to work on your Xbox One.
No, I mean
the only reason I turn on my Xbox.
Yes, right.
PSVR literally replaced my PS3 in my entertainment center.
Yeah.
I was like a finite amount of shelves. One of them had to go, and I was like, I'll put the funny hat there and get the old console out. So hearing about new games coming to PlayStation Plus that are from the PS3, which is a system I bought 15 years ago or whatever it feels like.
You are a time traveler.
35,000 years ago.
That's the one time a month I go, oh. Like I do that fail.
Yeah. Every single month.
Never mind.
Yeah, because I'm always just like, oh man, you got red. Man, it's not coming to PS4. So yeah, I think it'll be a matter of time. And like I said last week, stuff like Call of Duty Jackal and the Battlefront VR experience. I think little things like that are going to kind of keep the conversation going. What?
I heard Call of Duty Jackhole.
Yeah, Call of Duty Jackhole.
It's the Jackhole Party Pack.
So it's more WoW moments right now.
Yeah.
Games.
So like, I mean, stuff like Robinson, which we didn't give a great score, that's like a more 4-hour, 5-hour game. I think we're going to start seeing more and more stuff like that. Eagle Flight, obviously, a more robust title, if you will, if Caleb will.
Robust sauce. Right?
The robust sauce. So yeah, as we kind of differentiate between the shorter, quicker, cheaper experiences and the $40 4 or 5 hour things, PS4 is going to build out a really great library, and I think it's going to be a great thing. So yeah, don't sleep on it, as they say in the rap world.
It's just a big piece of plastic. It'd be very uncomfortable. You wake up with a weird kink in your back.
I don't know. Talk to that girl that stepped on your PS4. She'll obviously
she didn't sleep on it. She stepped on it. Don't step on it either.